Man, man, I really chose the time to come back, didn't I? Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Kentucky Corner. My name is Josh, and oh my goodness. Uh, gosh. First off, it's been a while. It really has. It's been a while. Welcome anyone back who's just coming back to this, like myself. As you can tell, those of you who have watched before, I have kind of a new backdrop. I'm going to be working on it, making it look better than just like I'm in a storage closet or in my apartment. I'll work on it, make it look better for you guys. But for now, let's actually get down to the nitty gritty and talk about. Oh my god, just what a week it has been for the Kentucky fan base. I just losing twice at home. Liam Coen lying, leaving. Some people like. I'm kind of mad about it. I'll get into it a little bit later. But some people are wishing him the best. I'm not one of those people. Just to give you a heads up on how I'm gonna feel about it. Um, yeah, let's kind of dive into our topics here. Um, in the Cal era at Kentucky, has there ever been such a just a disappointing feeling? Like it I can't be the only one who feels disappointed about 15-5, 15-6. Sorry, I can't be the only one disappointed about all of that. It drives me up a wall. And here, I gotta feel something in the background here. I can't just be alone. Uh, there we go. And there we go. Perfect. So, oh my god. Look, I didn't expect to beat Tennessee. If I'm being totally honest with you, my expectations were a little tempered after losing a game that they had won, uh, playing Florida. Going to overtime, I knew they were going to lose that. It's a level of disappointment that I haven't felt as a Kentucky fan in a long time. And I can't remember the last time I expected to lose a home game at Rupp. And I really can't remember any time where another team put up 100 points in Rupp Arena. These are dark times. These are, make no mistake, you can hold on to hope if you want to. This is some unprecedented, tough times here for this Kentucky fan, at least. I'm not quite old enough to remember a time when Kentucky basketball was not winning the conference. It's quite annoying, just to see these players not play well, and it really seems to me like we can't go a couple weeks without somebody being injured, somebody being out. I mean, Big Z didn't even play against Tennessee. Why? Bunch of turnovers, not rebound. This team is not good at rebounding. Don't know what it is. Can't defend an inbounds play under the basket. I don't understand it. I've been watching basketball a long time, and just the stubbornness to not go to zone defenses. I don't know. I won't understand it. I'm not Calipari. I'm not making $9 million a year coaching basketball, but man, I'm just about ready to ask for my money's worth. Just about. I'm upset about it. So, Oh my gosh. See, I'm scattered now. So, see, some people are watching now. We got 3 people. Excellent, excellent. Pull up comments, see if you guys are. Nope, nobody's commenting yet. So, this is my first stream back. I'm gonna call this season 2 of the Kentucky Corner, and don't ask me why it's in such a weird spot. It just is. Yeah, it just is. Okay. All right. So, after losing to Tennessee, Kentucky's record is now 15-6, falling to 5th in the SEC. I hate it. I hate it so much. And just looking at these scores, if your team is not good at scoring, you all should play Kentucky. That is a guarantee to get your team scoring into the 90s and 80s. And in Tennessee's case, 100. So the next game for Kentucky is at Vanderbilt. God help us if Cal finds a way to lose that one. As I don't think they will, but God help us. And then they have Gonzaga at home, Ole Miss at home, and then they go to Auburn. That's their next 4 games. I could give you guys a record prediction for that. Here, there we go. Thanks, guys, at week 0. Appreciate that. I'll give you a record prediction here. I'll give them the win at Vanderbilt. It'll be closer than you want it to be. I'll give them the win against Gonzaga. And they're going to drop one between Ole Miss and Auburn. You pick that one. It's more likely going to be Auburn, but I just honestly I don't see Kentucky's not going to win the SEC regular season. No. I will say this, even though I'm very dejected by the back-to-back home losses, which when did those become a normal thing? Right? Like when did back-to-back home losses for Kentucky basketball become a normal thing? Let's unnormalize that. That's bad. Let's not do that anymore. Honestly, man, this team reminds me of the 13 and 14 team, only not quite as good underneath. But I don't know. Championships aren't won in January or February, so we'll see. We'll see, man. I wish Cal would just make a change, have something work. Just something, man. Give us something. It's excruciating. All right. Let's go on and move on to kind of what I want to talk about. I'm a little more passionate about this. So, Liam Coen is gone. He lied to us. The feeling of betrayal, honestly, it hurts. Especially when you got, someone who, upon their return back, said, I want to spend some time, plant some roots, go out and recruit and all this other stuff, but then just couldn't look away from going back to the league again. And so, most people have been pretty cordial about it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Or my favorite quote. My favorite quote would be from Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring it up. No. Here. Where is it? Here we go. There's an old thing in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee. It says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fool me can't get fooled again." George W. Bush. What a goofball, man. I'm. So Liam Coen takes the Buccaneers job. Was on a plane to Tampa as soon as the rumor came up. You know, he's been doing interviews in the off season, and it's you got the feeling that, you know, oh well, he's either doing these for posterity, maybe it's just his policy to do every interview that he's offered, or that maybe the milk kind of soured here. You know, maybe he didn't get to do everything he wanted to do in that offense in 2023. Maybe he went off to what he thought were greener pastures. Who knows? Only him and Tampa Bay, which I wonder if Tampa Bay considered, while interviewing him, that he was a liar. I'm upset about it. Don't go somewhere and say, yeah, I'm going to stay for a couple years, and then immediately after the season's done, you pick up your bags and you hit the road. That's, you know, some people wish him well. I wish him horrible luck, and I hope he ends up coaching a high school team in North Carolina. That is the worst thing that I could wish upon any coach. I hope he coaches a high school team in North Carolina. I hope that's where his career ends. We can even look at like his success in 2021. Had some generational players there at Kentucky, but that's all I'm gonna do. Honestly, I just wanted to come out and say that I'm not really a hater. He needs to chase his dreams and his money just like everybody else. It just stinks that he came here, lied about staying here, and then just flew the coop as soon as he could. I didn't like it. I don't like when coaches do that, you know, but it is what it is. Let's talk about possible hires for... there we go. Yeah, let's talk about possible hires for Mark Stoops at offensive coordinator. And obviously, he could go in-house. He could get Eddie Grant again. And just a really strong running teams with Eddie Grant. Not much throwing the ball or anything like that along those lines. He was actually pretty decent, but at the time, Kentucky just didn't have the Jimmies and Joes to kind of compete. So you could argue maybe he didn't get that good of a shake. I don't know. But let's talk about possible candidates. And I'm getting this from I apologize. I'm actually getting this from the Courier-Journal. I'll get into Lexington Herald's list that they have also, but let's start here. All right. The first candidate, which would kind of make sense, but you know, we'll see about it. Joe Moorhead. You can remember he was back at Penn State. He was head coach at Mississippi State for a couple years. He was Oregon's offensive coordinator for a little bit. You know, currently he's at Akron. He's the Akron head coach. He's had some trouble there. Kind of started out new. I believe he's gone in 2 seasons, 4-20. Yeah, 4-20. And you could call Akron a tough job. It really is a tough job up there for anyone who's new to coaching. But why he would be a decent hire, in my opinion, is he's a pretty sharp offensive mind. I just don't think he's had the talent to do anything with it at Akron, just not being able to do what he wants to do with the ball. Also, it is possible that he's more of a CEO head coach and not really a well, I guess it would be like it's possible that he's less of a play caller head coach and more of a I'm going to bring somebody in and let them run that offense. So, I don't know. Here's the thing. He's making around $620,000 a year at Akron. He would be paid more as an offensive coordinator. It's just one of those things. Is he willing to step back down from a head coaching position given his 2 years, and if he's called that enough? I don't, I think there are better candidates than Joe Moorhead, but I would not be upset if Kentucky or Stoops hired Joe Moorhead for the offensive coordinator. Another candidate would be Rob Calabrese. Calabrese. I hate when they look. All right, Italian names need like a little pronunciation box, because that's tough. So this would be it. Rob Calabrese is the New York Jets quarterbacks coach right now. He's just, it really works with what Stoops is trying to do at Kentucky. He's trying to do more of a pro-style offense, and that in itself is not a bad thing. You've got other, good teams in the SEC running pro-style offenses. Missouri is one of them. Georgia, Alabama did. LSU. All of these teams are running pro-style offenses. So it would not be. It would not be kind of out of line for Stoops to hire another quarterbacks coach. Seeing as though that has been a position that's, now it's recently vacated, but personnel-wise, they kind of only have a certain amount of assistants they can hire, and just having an OC and a quarterbacks coach in one, being that that's where they came from, would just be the easiest plug-and-play kind of thing they can do. Let's see. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Calabrese. Whatever. Calabrese. I will pronounce that 28 different times. He had experience in college as the OC at Wagner in Staten Island, which woohoo. He ended up getting 28 points per game. I don't know. Another thing too, he's also getting Rodgers back this year. So, do you want to go to the college level and coach college kids, or do you want to coach Aaron Rodgers? That's another thing with Rob. I'm just going to call him Rob. Then you have Bush Hamdan. He just finished his first season as Boise State's offensive coordinator. He was actually a candidate before when Coen left. I'm sorry. He was actually one before when it was back in 2020 when Stoops ended up hiring Coen. So, not bad. At the time, he was Missouri's wide receivers and quarterbacks coach. Prior to that, he was the OC and quarterbacks coach at Washington at Chris Peterson's final 2 seasons. Last season at Boise State. Boise State had the 32nd most productive offense in the country. They averaged. His second and final offense at Washington averaged 32 points per game. 32 points per game in the SEC wins you a lot of games. I don't know if he'll be able to do it. Next, we have Tommy Rees. I do not personally. This is just me. I don't want Tommy Rees as the OC, and that's just personal reasons. I don't feel like I don't feel like he did very well with what he had at Alabama. I feel like that Alabama offense could have been way more dynamic, and he just didn't make it happen. Now, he only had 1 season there. So, who knows? I do remember he was at Notre Dame. And I don't know. I will say this, though. Alabama averaged over 40 points per game in their last 6 games of the season. So, is that with, is that just the players kind of figuring out his system and going with it? Or is that somebody else taking over? Who knows? But, I don't know. But yeah. I mean, and we already got Eric Wolford back from Alabama. If you remember, he left to go to Alabama as their O-line coach, and now he's back. Another candidate is Kevin Johns. He was the offensive coordinator for Duke. They were all right. They were injured a little bit this season. Not really impressed by what he did at Duke. He was the offensive coordinator at Memphis, where he averaged 40.4 points. In his first season in 19, averaged 30 points per game in the next 2 seasons. And he was the offensive coordinator for Texas Tech in 2018 at 37.3 points per game. Dude was able to put up substantial amounts of points. And I think if he can bring that to Kentucky, I think he has all the pieces he'll need in order to run an offense like that. I mean, we're talking about league-leading speed in wide receivers. We've got, we've got a former 5-star transfer quarterback coming in. He's got 2 years of eligibility left, and I really enjoyed the O-line we used to have, and there's a chance that'll come back as well. So, I feel like we get to this point in the season every single year where people say, oh, don't sleep. Oh, they're sleeping on Kentucky, or don't sleep on Kentucky, or whatever. Oh, Kentucky's a dark horse. Happens past 5 years, it's happened every season. And, some of those seasons they'll go, they went 10-3 one season, and then they turn around and go, 7-5. So, hit or miss. There are a couple of hurdles that need to be dealt with, as far as I'm concerned, as far as Kentucky football is and what Mark Stoops has built the team to be. I honestly think that Kentucky, I honestly think the standard at Kentucky has been raised. You can't be losing to South Carolina anymore. You can't be losing to Missouri anymore. You have to beat Florida now. You know, next step is beating Tennessee, which they've been close these past couple times, but they need to beat them at a more regular pace. And just, I don't know. That's just what I think. I got one more. And I don't think it's going to happen, right? One more candidate. So, Will Stein. He's the Oregon offensive coordinator currently. And he just has roots in Kentucky. He's a Louisville native. He grew up a Kentucky fan. I don't know how much that would affect him. He's got a pretty high flying offense. Just got a really good quarterback in Dylan Gabriel out there. Don't know if he would leave. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be fantastic if we got the news pretty soon that Will Stein is Kentucky's new offensive coordinator. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. Yeah, I know. I don't want Tommy Rees either. That's fine. He can stay wherever I think he's at Cleveland now. He can stay in Cleveland. That makes sense for him. But that's all I got for you guys tonight. Welcome to season 2. We're going to be doing some changes with the background. We're going to be doing some changes with how I do things. I'm going to try to work some different things into my shows. And as always, well, first off, I'm just going to say, sky is falling, man. The sky feels like it's falling right now. At least the sun came out today. At least the sun came out. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, go Big Blue, and God bless. You all have a good night.